and welcome to another Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast, Season 2, Episode 4. I'm your host, Tyler Boloski, and here's my co-host,
Eli Boloski.
All right, Eli, we are 4 episodes into this season. How you doing? How you liking it?
It's pretty good. I'm excited to start the new season.
Yeah, I can't wait. Last week you were hosting it, and we'll definitely get you on again to host, and I thought you did a really good job. All right, so we're going to get into our show tonight. We're going to be doing a mock draft in a little bit. We got some nines for you. That's our news, notes, information. Wow, I can't spell nines tonight. That's news, information, notes, entertainment, and stats. That is presented by Pristine Auction. PristineAuction.com is a great website. We actually just got done finalizing our win. We won a Eli Rogers signed photograph. It's legit. It's authorized. It's a great website to get helmets, jerseys, photos, baseballs, basketballs, anything signed. They got things from movies. They got things from other celebrities, paintings. PristineAuction.com is the legit place to get all your auctions. It's free. It's free to sign up. It's free to bid. If you lose, you don't have to pay anything like some other websites. So PristineAuction.com presents our nines tonight. All right, first one up is camps are open. Pretty much all the teams have reported for camp. That means football is right around the corner. I am super pumped. What about you, Eli?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be high scoring all season, all year. I think everyone's just going to be throwing the ball a ton. But I've seen some footage from camp, and so far a lot of teams are looking good. A lot of teams are looking bad. But it's preseason. It's only the first couple days, so get all the wrinkles out. All right, number 2 is running back for the 49ers, Carlos Hyde. It's reported that he could be possibly traded before the season starts. I think that'd be pretty wise for the 49ers. They don't really like him anymore. They had the new rookie out there, Joe Williams, and Tim Hightower. They could even bring in a vet if they wanted to. But talks are that it could end up in Baltimore, as we get to that in a couple minutes. It could be New York, the New York Giants. I think that'd be a great spot for him and Paul Perkins. But they have so many running backs in New York. I don't know if it'd be worth it for them unless they dump a couple of those guys. But Carlos Hyde,
probably if they do get Carlos Hyde, they'll probably dump a couple guys.
Oh, for sure. Quarterback number 3, quarterback Andrew Luck is going to pretty much sit out the whole preseason. Because of a shoulder injury he had last year. Actually, I just read about 20 minutes ago he may even miss week 1 and 2 of the regular season. So we'll definitely keep you updated on that when it comes to the regular season and your drafts. Be careful drafting him. If you draft him, you definitely want to get that second quarterback in the draft and not wait for the bye weeks or the start of the season. But we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Eli, who do you got? What's up next?
There is Kenneth Dixon, running back for the Ravens. He is out for the season because of a knee injury. So that's going to really help the other running backs in Baltimore.
Yeah, you got Terrence West. He's pretty much going to be picking up the slack in Baltimore. And like I said, maybe Carlos Hyde will get signed up over there. What else you got for Baltimore?
Joe Flacco, quarterback. He is out for 3 through 6 preseason games because of a back injury.
Yeah, he hurt his back. I guess earlier this week or so. They found a bulging disc, and I think it's more 3 to 6 weeks. So they may even lead into the regular season. They don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but yeah. Once again, you're not really drafting Flacco as a starter, maybe a bye week filler. So maybe if you team him up with Luck, then you still need a third quarterback. So that wouldn't be a good team.
Yeah.
And there's actually one more Baltimore Ravens news.
Larry Donnell, tight end from Giants last year, is signed by Baltimore. So that's good for Baltimore because now they have a pretty solid tight end.
Yeah, Dennis Pitta went down for the season with his knee injury, and their backup tight end went down earlier this week because of when camps opened up. So he's done, and they have Ben Watson left. So it's Ben Watson, Larry Darnell now. So wow, Baltimore's just dropping like flies out there, getting so injured and everything. And what's your last 9 there, bud?
Gary Barnidge, the free agent tight end from the Browns last year, is working with the Bills. So if they can get him, that's going to be good for the Bills because they can just team him up with Charles Clay. That'll be pretty good.
Yeah, with him and Tyrod Taylor throwing him the ball, and even Sammy Watkins. It's another target for Tyrod. I think it'd be a great pickup for them. He's a veteran tight end. Not saying Charles Clay isn't, but I think Barnidge is just a little bit better. I was surprised that Baltimore didn't go after Barnidge because of how good he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he said no to them already. I don't really know the status for that, but Barnidge would be a great fill-in or great pickup for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Talking about tight ends, you got tight end Jordan Reed from Washington. He's already on the injured train. He has a toe injury. It's nothing serious as of right now. Reports are saying it's just a toe injury. It could just be a sprain or nothing. I mean, obviously you need your feet to run, but just keep an eye out on him. We'll keep you updated on that injury. Quarterback Trevius Simeon. He's getting number one starts or reps with his first team this week. Him and Paxton Lynch are battling for that number one position in Denver. But right now, Trevor Simeon is the number one quarterback in Denver. I think that's great because we have him in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah, and either way, by the end of the season, Paxton Lynch will probably have at least 5 starts, probably.
Paxton, I think they're going to split time this year. Yeah, I think that's going to be maybe even 8-8. Being a 16-game season.
Yeah.
And that's it. We blew through those 9s. We actually had 9 this week, so that's our 9s presented by Pristine Auction, pristineauction.com. We thank you guys so much for sponsoring that segment of our podcast. And now get to the Scott Fish Bowl League. Eli, what do we have for that?
There's 6 weeks until the season starts, which is super exciting. So Scott Fish Bowl I'm pretty sure all of the drafts are all over. So that's good for us because we can just relax until the season starts.
Yeah,
we have our other drafts.
Exactly. We got 2 drafts coming up later in August. And Scott Fish Bowl is all wrapped up, like you said. And now we just sit back and wait. And just next week we'll have our full roster for you. I know you guys have been asking about that, so we'll get that to you guys next week. But now let's get to the main part of the show tonight, and that is our mock draft. And what we're doing tonight is we're going to do a PPR draft with 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 1 flex, kicker defense, and 6 bench players. We're going to be drafting from the 5th position, which gives us that little option of do we go a stud running back or one of those stud wide receivers, which would be David Johnson, Bell, Antonio Brown, Zeke Elliott, Julio Jones, or David Beckham. Those are usually the top 6 that leave.
Odell Beckham.
Who do I say? Julio Beckham?
David Beckham.
Yeah, we're not playing soccer here. We're playing football. So also, throughout the whole draft, we'll be giving you guys some tips on how to do your drafts, what to look for, and then at the very end of the mock draft, we'll give you guys our top 10 draft day pick tips. So we have the first pick, or the 5th pick in the first round. And who went first was David Johnson, followed up by Bell, then Brown, then Zeke Elliott. So Eli, we can pick between Julio, Beckham, LaShawn McCoy, AJ Green. Those are some of the top names who are left. Who do you think we should take here? It's PPR, so we would definitely get some points if we pick Julio or Beckham.
Yeah. Beckham they both have really good quarterbacks. Matt Ryan likes Julio though a lot. Because Eli Manning has a lot of other options. However, I like Odell Beckham in this situation because Julio Jones just lost the Super Bowl last year, and his quarterback is a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we took Beckham. Some of the guys who left, it's obviously the first 2 rounds are going to be the big names. Evans left, McCoy left, Melvin Gordon, AJ Green. Into the second round, you got T.Y. Hilton, Michael Thomas, DeMarco Murray, Devontae Adams. So what we like to do is, I think this mock draft, we'll probably do another 1 or 2 before the season starts. This time, I think we're going to go wide receiver heavy. We're going to do 2 receivers and maybe a tight end, depending on where we fall on that. Our running back option right now is Todd Gurley. I don't know if I like him right now.
Yeah.
We could get Lamar Miller or rookie Fournette or the Crow, but I think we go wide receiver here. We got Dez Bryant, Doug Baldwin, which I'm never drafting, so that's not an option. So a couple other wide receivers, Eli. We got DeAndre Hopkins, Demaryius Thomas, and Allen Robinson.
I think either Hopkins or Dez right now.
Yeah. I don't like Hopkins this year. They don't really have a quarterback. So let's go Dez Bryant to team up with Beckham. Yeah, or we go Gronk But I think it's a little too early for Gronk.
Yeah, a little too early.
If he's so injured, I don't like him this year. He's always injured,
and they don't have that good backup, even if he does get injured, because they lost Martavis Bryant.
Exactly. Bennett. Yep. So we go on the short flip here, and Gronk did go. No, Gronk did leave early in the third. You got Aaron Rodgers, the first quarterback, taken in the second round. That's a little early for us.
Yeah.
I think I don't really like drafting that early. So now we gotta go. Let's look at the tight ends because I don't want to do a running back quite yet. We got Travis Kelce, Jordan Reed that we just talked about with his toe injury. Greg Olsen and Tyler Eifert. I think Eifert's a little too early in the third round.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want to go Travis Kelce? I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
You get those PPR points right there.
Yeah. Now we're running back probably, right?
Yep, we got to go running back. You got Ty Montgomery left, Marshawn Lynch left, Crow left, Carlos Hyde. They all were drafted in the late third, early fourth round. So let's
Joe
see.
Mixon already left.
Yeah, running
round.
back. They can have him. I don't want him. All right, so now we got a running back. We got Christian McCaffrey. Good for PPR. Not bad. Mark Ingram, Danny Woodhead. Which, now that Kenneth Dixon is injured, that may not be a bad pick.
Yeah, I like Mark Ingram. I mean, AP's not the best number 2 running back.
Exactly. I like Woodhead. I don't like him this early because he's not a solid number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, none of these guys really are a solid number 1 except maybe Ingram.
Maybe Ingram or maybe Eddie Lacy if we go down a little deeper in the pool. So I think between Eddie Lacy and Mark Ingram. You got Ingram splitting carries, though. Eddie Lacy is pretty much the man out there in Seattle. But I bet we could get Lacy on the flip.
Yeah, let's go Ingram.
Let's go Ingram. I just don't like McCaffrey as a number 1. He's the rookie. If he was his second, third year, I'd take him. But let's go Mark Ingram and see if we can get Lacy on the flip. Olsen left. Larry Fitzgerald left. Danny Woodhead left, which we kind of wanted. But Eddie Lacy's there. You got Bilal Powell, you know that? Powell, yep, you nailed it. C.J. Anderson, not going to take him. Spencer Ware, not going to take him. So I think Eddie Lacy is our second running back. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick.
He's losing weight. And
he's a really good running back. They don't have anyone else in Seattle, so that's a good pick.
That's right, yeah. You got Edelman left, Drew Brees left, which is I think the second quarterback to go. Matt Ryan left, Russell Wilson left. Were drafted. I say let's fill up our flex with another wide receiver since we got PPR. We got Jamison Crowder, Brandon Marshall, Dante Moncrief, and Willie Snead. I think for the most positive points, we should try to look for one of those starters or number 1 receivers. And it doesn't really look like anyone's left.
There's Calvin Benjamin, but there's other guys there.
Yeah, he may be... Yeah, he's a little early. I like Benjamin this year. I think he's going to bounce back big with 10-plus touchdowns. But let's go with, we got Crowder, we got Marshall, but we have Beckham. So I don't really like teaming up that early.
Oh, yeah. So there's Crowder, but he doesn't have the best quarterback, and he's also... Well, he has a good quarterback, but he's also the only one in Washington, so they're going to double-team them probably.
Yeah, well, they got Terrell Pryor, but Terrell Pryor's really... I don't like him this year. So let's go Moncrief or Willie Snead. I'm going to say Snead because Moncrief has the luck injury.
Yeah.
And Snead has Drew Brees. So let's go with Snead.
Yeah, not a bad pick for a flex.
Now, one of our tips that we're talking about a little bit later is what I like to do, and Eli's slowly starting into it, is drafting your starters first. Like getting all your starting positions drafted first if you can. Yeah. If that's the best option. I like doing that. That way I don't have to worry about who's going to start every week.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
So we got 2 running backs. We got 2 receivers, a tight end, and our flex. So we're going to look at quarterbacks right now. Right now we have Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Big Ben, and Dak Prescott. Phillip Rivers, Stafford, Tyrod still out there. I think out of this group, I think I'd want to pass for right now and maybe get another solid running back.
Yeah, or maybe we can go Winston, but he's a little too early for the 7th round, I think.
Yeah, so let's skip on quarterback this time and let's just fill out our bench a little bit. I know we're kind of going against the grain from what we just said, but it will all work out because I'm eyeing a quarterback right now that I like better than those 4. So let's go to the running back. We got starter Spencer Ware from Kansas City, Frank Gore, the old guy, Theo Redrick, the backup, and Mike Gillislee from New England.
Right here, probably Mike Gillislee, I'd think, because he's one of 2 starters there.
Yeah, I like Gillislee this year. He's going to be pounding the ball. He's going to take over that LeGarrette Blount role. He's going to get 9 to 12 touchdowns this year. He may not get 1,000 yards, but he's going to definitely make up that with touchdowns. So I like Gillislee right here for a third running back.
Especially for bench. He's pretty good for a bench.
Exactly. Hunter Henry left. Marcus, it looks like some tight ends are going now.
Yeah.
Winston left. Mariota left. Theo Ledrick left. Doug Martin got drafted. He's suspended for 3 games, so be careful of him. A lot of people are thinking that he's not even going to get his job back once Game 4 comes around.
Yeah.
Just because Rodgers is pretty good. He's a pretty good fill-in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
now we're going to go quarterback. And there is Ben Roethlisberger, Dak Prescott, Phillip Rivers, and Matthew Stafford. Right here, I think we should go Ben Roethlisberger because he's not going to be there anywhere else. And it's the 8th round, so I think we really need to get our quarterback right now.
Yeah, you want to get a quarterback? Let's just quickly look at wide receivers. We got Calvin Benjamin, Jeremy Maclin, which I don't like. Deshaun Jackson, Eric Decker. But I like. Let's go with Big Ben. Let's just see what happens. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those guys will come back around. AP got drafted, which wouldn't have been a bad backup for our Mark Ingram, but we'll talk about handcuffing at the end of the draft. Calvin Benjamin left. Duke Johnson left. Shamaji P. Ryan, which we messed up the name last week, for Washington, rookie, he left. All right, so now let's go wide receiver.
Yep.
We're now in the 9th round. This draft is going pretty fast, which, by the way, we are on draftwizards.com, presented by Fantasy Pros. DraftWizards is an awesome place to get mock drafts done. It's very quick. There's no timer. There's no pressure of trying to figure out who you're going to find. You can just take your time. You can burn through them. They're pretty accurate. They really base everything on average draft position, but DraftWizard is an amazing website to do mock drafts if you want to just do one in 5 minutes.
Yeah, they go really quick, and they have the option of choosing if it's PPR, standard. You can do you can do 10 people, 12 people. You can do a lot of stuff on this.
Yeah, we're doing 12-person. You can do snake draft, fantasy, dynasty drafts. There's a whole bunch of options you can do. All right, so wide receiver, back to the draft. Now, round 9, wide receiver. Right now we have Beckham, Des Bryant, Willie Snead. Running backs, Ingram, Lacey, Gillislee. Got tight end Travis Kelce and Big Ben as our quarterback. So we got Deshaun Jackson, Eric Decker, Randall Cobb, John Brown, and Jordan Matthews, Kenny Britt. A lot of people like Kenny Britt this year in Cleveland, but they don't have a quarterback, so I don't know why.
Yeah, he is one of the only guys there, so I could see why they like him, but I don't think he's going to do a lot. Coming from the Rams, not going to do a whole lot this year.
Yeah, all right, so I think it's going to be down between Deshaun Jackson, Eric Decker, and Randall Cobb. Yeah. Cobb has Rodgers, Decker has Mariota, and Jackson has Winston.
I think we should go Jackson. He's really a steal right now, I think.
Yeah, he's the number 2 wide receiver. Decker's 2-3. Cobb is 2-3 also. So I think we could probably get Cobb a little bit later. But yeah, let's go Deshaun Jackson. Make that. He loves the deep balls. He's going to get 6-7 deep balls this year for touchdowns, 80 yards plus. LeGarrette Blount left, C.J. Prosise, which was our backup. Terrace West left, which in 9th round, that's a pretty good steal for a starter.
Yeah.
O.J. Howard, rookie tight end, left. Kobe Fleener left. The first defense went off the board, Kansas City Chiefs. Good luck with that, I guess.
Denver Broncos and then the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, I did miss the Broncos. Yeah, so Denver and Kansas City, the 1-2 defense is going off. All right, let's flip it back over to running backs. As we got Jonathan Stewart, Robert Kelly, Giovard Bernard, and Latavius Murray. I just saw a report. Bernard is looking good. He's coming off an injury. He was looking really good over this past weekend in Cincinnati camp. So I like Jonathan Stewart here, though.
Yeah, either Jay Stewart or Latavius Murray right now.
Yeah, well, Murray's still hurt, and there's talking about...
Oh, yeah, Murray's hurt.
Yeah, they're talking about maybe probably missing the first week or two.
Oh, that's yeah.
But
Okay.
Jay Stu is the starter in Carolina right now, so I think we go Jay Stu.
Yep, Jason Stewart.
That's the 10th round. And Murray left. Rookie Jamal Williams, running back, left. Randall Cobb left. Bernard left, which I wish we could have hopefully gotten him on the back round. But we got running backs. We got 3 benches left, and our kicker defense, which we'll talk about in a minute. You want to try
Seahawks defense left.
All right, so we could try to get our backup quarterback now, but I think it's way too early for that.
Yeah.
So let's look at tight ends. Maybe get another tight end. We got Jason Witten, Julius Thomas, C.J. Fedorowicz, and Cameron Brate. I like all those guys, but not right now. I think that's a little too early for that.
Yeah, they're pretty early tight ends, except for Jason Witten, but we already have Des Bryant, so.
Yeah, and we have Travis Kelce at tight end, so I don't really want to have drafting a tight end again. I think we should be fine with a tight end. We can pick someone up throughout the season if we need it. So let's go wide receiver. Look who we got. We got Kenny Britt, Adam Thielen from Minnesota, Mike Wallace, and Tyrell Williams, which is a good pickup because Mike Williams, the rookie, is still injured.
Yeah.
And I just saw a report also again today that he may not even make it through the rest of the season. The back injury is a lot worse than they thought. But so we'll just keep you posted on that. So wide receivers, like I said, we got Marvin Jones, Sterling Shepard. I think we can still get them in a couple rounds.
Yeah.
So I think right now, Mike Wallace would be great if they didn't sign Jeremy Maclin. But I don't really want. I guess maybe Kenny Britt. He'll get the PPR.
Yeah, the PPR helps.
If anything, he'll be a bye week filler.
Yeah.
So we went Kenny Britt in the 11th round. Deion Lewis left. Another defense left with Texans. Antonio Gates left in the 12th round. Thielen left. Got drafted. So let's go with a running back to solidify our running backs. We got Chris Thomas, Thomas Rawls, which wouldn't be a bad handcuff for Eddie Lacy, Charles Sims, Ryan Matthews,
Jake
Rogers. I think we'll do that. That wouldn't be a bad steal right there.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack, the rookie. Yeah, I think we're going to steal Jake Rogers here in the 12th round. I mean,
that's a great steal.
That is. He's the starter for the first 3 weeks. If I had the schedule in front of me, I could tell you who he has. But even if he doesn't start throughout the rest of the season after that, Doug Martin's bound to go down injured. He always gets injured. So he's going to play throughout the rest of the season. So Jake Rogers here in the 12th round is a great steal, especially if you're going to pick Chris Thomas, Thomas Rawls, Charles Sims, or Ryan Matthews. I don't like any of those guys.
Yeah.
We're talking second, third back guys here. Jake Rogers is in the 1-2 back, so Jake Rogers it is.
Yeah, and even though he is gonna be the number 2 for the rest of the season, unless Martin goes down, then he's still gonna get some runs, even though Martin's the number 1.
Exactly, and if anything, you could after week 3, you could try to trade him to the Doug Martin order.
Yeah,
you always do that.
Yeah,
get someone else to take them off your hands for you. All right, so we're at our last bench position, and we usually like to draft 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because you need a bye week filler, and you need that security blanket to in case your quarterback goes down. You don't want to be scrambling.
And Ben Roethlisberger gets injured, so I think we definitely should get a backup quarterback.
Yeah, so we have our options right now are Dak, Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, Tyrod Taylor, and Eli Manning. We can keep going, but I don't really like the rest of the options. So I think because we got Big Ben, you're the Steelers fan, I like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
One of the tips we have, not the official tips, but is try to avoid drafting. Not try to be a homer. Like, oh, I'm going to draft all the Giants. Or I'm going to draft all the Steelers or Vikings or whatever, because that could get you in trouble. Because one, your team may not be the best, especially if you like the Browns or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah. But try to stay away from that homer pick if you can. But Eli Manning's a stud. He's going to be bombing out this year with a ton of passes and yardage. He doesn't run a whole lot, but I'm okay with taking him with our last pick over Dak and Phillip and all those guys.
Yeah, because he has a lot of targets, like we said earlier.
Exactly, and if anything, he may produce better every week against Big Ben, who could be hurt. All right, so that's our last position player, and one of our tips too is don't draft kicker defense before their last rounds. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna explain more a little bit when we get into that. But our kicker, I would say draft your kicker first because you're most likely going to keep him and not stream your kicker over your defense. Where I usually stream defenses all season. Every week I'll stream a defense.
Yeah.
But so our kickers, we got Justin Tucker, Matt Bryant, and
Stephen Gostowski and Dan Bailey, but we're not drafting Dan Bailey.
No, we're going to go with the kicker out of New England because the Patriots are going to score a ton of touchdowns this year.
Yeah, and if they don't, they'll get a ton of field goals.
Exactly. So
and
that's
now the last round.
Our last pick
draft is going to be the defense / special teams.
Yeah, we got Jacksonville, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and at this point we're just drafting whoever we want. You can pick anyone else. Niners, Saints, Cowboys. Oh, the Giants are gone. I don't know who drafted those guys. Jacksonville has a great defense this year, and they keep getting better. The only problem is they don't have an offense.
Yeah, so they're going to be on defense all the time, getting tired.
Same with Baltimore. Now that all those injuries. Same with Cincinnati. I don't like their defense. I like the offense. I don't like the defense. So right here, I think let's go Pittsburgh.
Yeah, their defense isn't as good as it was last year. But they're still going to be good.
Yeah, and let's just get the draft done and over with. So we picked Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and let's see what our grade is. Our grade, Draft Wizards grade your draft. However, grades and finishing positions don't matter in real life. I mean, we got a B for our draft. A lot of it's based on the percentage and the average draft position, but a B is still pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, once we got I think it was a C- or something.
Yeah, and right now we're ranked 6, so we make the playoffs, and I like that. I like our team. I think it's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, let's see what our roster looks like now. Nope, I don't want that. Nope.
Can't find it.
Can't find it. Let's see. No. This is what happens when you do it live.
Yeah. There it is.
All right, we'll just do it this way, I guess. All right, so we got David Beckham. Not David Beckham. That's twice I've said David Beckham.
Odell Beckham.
The soccer season's starting right around the corner in a couple weeks. But yeah, I got Odell Beckham Jr. and Dez Bryant are 1-2 picks. Are solid receivers there. Our tight end is Travis Kelce. Our next 2 picks were running backs, Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy, 4 and 5. Our flex position, our third wide receiver, because there's PPR, we put Willie Snead. Our third running back, we picked up Mike Gillislee out of New England.
And then our quarterback for the 8th round was Ben Roethlisberger. 9th round pick was Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver. Then 10th round pick was Jay Stewart.
And we took up. Now we're starting to get into our bench with Jackson and Stewart, and we took up Kenny Britt, wide receiver, Jaquez Rogers, Eli Manning for a backup quarterback in the 13th round, which you could probably just get him in the 13th round anyways.
Yeah.
And be happy with that start. And our kicker defense is Jakowski and the Steelers. So that's our draft. I think it was a pretty good mock draft.
Yeah, it was really good.
The first round is, as usual, David Johnson, Bell, Brown, Zeke, Beckham, Jones, Evans, McCoy, Green, Gordon, Jay Ajayi, and Devontae Freeman. That's pretty much a standard first round right there. You may get Jordy Nelson in there. You may get Jordan Howard and Todd Gurley. But for the most part, that's how it's going to be looking. Maybe not in order, but those are pretty much a solid first round picks right there.
Yeah.
So now that we're done with our mock draft and kind of telling you how we do our draft picks, next time we'll do a draft pick instead of doing no running backs or we didn't do any running backs until the 4th round. Maybe next time we'll do a running back in the 1st round. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So now we're going to give you our top 10 draft day draft picks tips. So we're going to just give you 10 tips what you need to do on draft day to draft the best team possible. So Eli, let's hear your first. Give me your 5. I'll do my 5 after that.
All right. Number 1, no defense or kickers until last 2 rounds. We really like that rule. It's pretty good because you want to get all your good players, like starting players. So yeah, and Number 2.
Well, with that, also because you don't want to waste a draft pick. You don't want to be drafting your kicker in the 10th round out of 17 rounds. Not because you're just wasting your pick. I mean, yeah, go for it, and I'm going to win the league because you're doing that. And same with the defense. They're so disposable every week that you don't want to waste that draft pick because you're going to be streaming them anyway. So that's a good tip, Eli.
Yeah.
Draft your kicker defense last 2 rounds.
And number 2, no quarterbacks, I think, until at least the 3rd round, probably after the mid-3rd round, because you can get so many better people than that. Like, we got Beckham, and then we got
Des Bryant,
and then we got
Lacey. Yep.
So you can get a lot of really good guys before you get your quarterback. Like, we saw Aaron Rodgers and I think Tom Brady go in the late 2nd round. So you can't. There are so many good quarterbacks out there. So yeah, you can get so many better quarterbacks, and after the 3rd round, like if I had the choice, I would definitely take Tom Brady, probably 4th round but people don't take quarterbacks too early in my opinion. So I like to take them after the 3rd round if they're a stud quarterback.
Yeah, a lot of that too is because they're homers. They really want Aaron Rodgers in the 2nd round because they love Green Bay. They love him. A lot of it too is you want to maximize your points, but would you rather have a wide receiver get you 200 points and a quarterback get you 200 points, or a quarterback for 400 points, or a quarterback that gets you 200 and a running back gets you 100? So you're missing 200 or 100 points right there. So try to maximize your points in every round that you can. That way you can fill out your roster the best that you can.
Yeah. And number 3, don't always worry about buys during the draft because we've always said we can always work out the buys after the draft. Like take a look back at our lineup and say, oh, this week Beckham has a bye, but so does, let's say, Kenny Britt. So we could just work that out, do some trading, go on the free agent wire. So we don't always worry about buys during the draft unless that's like our last tiebreaker.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't even really worry about that. Actually, it's better if you want to have all your guys on the same bye because you're guaranteed that 1 loss and that's it. So if you have Rodgers at 6, Beckham at 7, Des Bryant at 8, and your 2 running backs at 9, well, there's like 4 or 5 losses right there because your stud players are on the bench. But if you have all on week 8, that wouldn't be a bad time to just take 1 loss for the team and then you worry about the rest of your positions.
Yeah.
You can fill in a tight end once every other week or whatever. But yeah, that's a good tip. I didn't even think about that, Eli.
And number 4, I know I do it a lot, but I'm trying to get better. Don't always draft on names, cause like I last year I liked Matt Forte. He didn't do very good. And this year I kind of like DeAndre Hopkins, but I'm starting to back away, realizing that the quarterback isn't as good anymore. So don't always draft on names.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing rookies and 2nd and 3rd year players would do. They'll just draft based on names. But the experts, the pros, the guys like me who have been playing for 20 years, kind of look past that name and see, okay, Matt Forte has been in the league for 10 years now, but he's declining every year. He's a lot older. And same with Larry Fitzgerald. He's going to catch another 100 balls, but can you get someone maybe a little bit younger, a little bit better? Now, if you want to go all out and draft by name, go for it, but you're taking a risk. I mean, if you want to get one of those big names on your team, like just Larry Fitzgerald as a flex and not as a number 1.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald good as a flex. He's a week 2 solid flex.
Yeah,
definitely.
That wouldn't be bad, but you don't want him, Forte, Hopkins. Just a big name, older guy. That just wouldn't be practical for your team.
Yeah, and my 5th one is bring your favorite jersey to the draft. Well, wear it. Don't just bring it. But yeah, wear your favorite jersey to the draft if it's like a live draft.
Yeah, live drafts are the best drafts. I mean, if you can do a live draft at your house, at a local restaurant or whatnot, those are always fun. Get the face paint going, wear your team colors. Live drafts are fun. Get a little shot clock going so you don't have to sit there for 5 hours. But yeah, live drafts are fun. Make it fun. Bring the team the league trophy to show it off and.
And
Yeah.
we're actually doing a live draft in a couple of weeks, probably about in 1 month.
Yeah, a couple weeks, and the end of the month of August, we do our live draft, and we do have a computer draft, but that's because everyone lives all over the United States. But,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, those are great 5 tips. I like the one at the very end, kind of like a joking one. That's great. My 5 are don't outthink the room, and kind of what that means is don't draft people out of position. Like again, don't draft your kicker in the 7th round because you want to be cute, you want to be fun. Oh, it's a great steal. No, it's a dumb steal. It's a dumb move to do that.
It's not even a steal.
Yeah, you're not stealing anything other than, well, nothing.
Yeah.
So don't outthink the room. And same way that Eli said, don't really draft your quarterback until the 3rd, 4th round maybe because
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers will still be there. Wow, excuse me. Aaron Rodgers will still be there in the 3rd, 4th round. There's no reason to take him in the 1st.
Yeah, because you can get so many better players.
So
than
many.
that.
And like I said, do you want to get 400 points out of 2 players or 300 points out of 2 players because you took Aaron Rodgers too early? So don't outthink the room. Don't get cute. Don't get fancy. Just stay the course. Another one is draft your starters first, then you bench.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we did. Yeah, we left Big Ben until kind of like the middle rounds, but the rest of our bench or rest of our starters were filled up.
Yeah, and what we had to do there was because there were a lot of other guys that we could have drafted, and it was just too early for Big Ben for us.
Yeah, we like Big Ben. We didn't really like Dak Prescott, and as I'm saying, don't draft 6 running backs before you draft your first wide receiver. Like those 3 other running backs aren't going to be playing. Your wide receiver is. So don't get points on the bench. They're just going to sit on the bench. You need points in your starting lineup. Don't outthink the room. Don't draft your whole bench before your starting lineup. Don't wait until the last round to get your tight end. I guess you can, but I mean you're going to end up with like Austin Hooper or
worse than that. Way worse than that.
Yeah. You're going to get Jared Cook for the Raiders. So.
Or Martellus Bennett, the backup.
Yeah. Oh no, Bennett's the starter now in Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
All right, number 3 is be okay with your draft strategy changing. We went into this mock draft. We wanted no running backs until the 4th round, and that's what we did. However,
we got it in the 3rd round, but
we took our running back in the 4th. We took 2 receivers and Kelsey.
Oh.
Because we wanted the PPR.
Oh yeah.
But we still ended up with 2 great running backs with Ingram and Lacey. But, if you go in there thinking, oh, I'm only drafting 3 running backs in the 1st round, well, you're going to miss out on some other good players. I'm drafting Aaron Rodgers first, or I'm drafting. Let your draft strategy be flexible in the middle of the draft. Yeah,
and because not everything goes your way, too, because people will always jump out and take the guy that you want, so you have to change it in that situation.
Exactly. Eli, that was awesome. That's probably one of the best things you've said so far this year. I think that was great. Yeah, mock drafts only mock drafts with a computer. You're not drafting against real people. We make our list of what we want, and then halfway through the draft, well, we wanted a receiver here, but we have Jacquizz Rodgers sitting on the free agent pool. Let's draft him. We can bounce around a wide receiver running back all day, but we're going to take the best player available.
Yeah.
Our 4th one is handcuffing running backs. I'm not really big on handcuffing unless it's like New Orleans where you have AP and Ingram. They're both going to be split carries. You have Tennessee with Henry and DeMarco Murray. That's kind of a wishy-washy who could start there. The Falcons with Freeman and Coleman.
Yeah, that's starting to go up in Freeman's favor, though.
Exactly.
But that is a good handcuff.
Those would be really the only ones I'd really handcuff. I'm not going to worry about the 16 running backs in New England or the Giants. Other than that, you really don't need to drive handcuffs. Maybe Baltimore now with West and Woodhead.
Or teams that have a lot injured players, like Matt Forte last year. It would be a good idea to get the backup, handcuff Powell. Yeah.
Yep. Those. Other than that, don't really worry about handcuffs. In my opinion, I don't like them. I don't do it. Now I may trade for them later in the season. Like say I have Jacquizz Rodgers and I may trade for Doug Martin or trade Doug Martin to the Jacquizz Rodgers owner. But I'm not going to draft my handcuff.
Yeah.
And my last one is at your live event, make sure you bring your double stuffed Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Bring your
Don't
favorite.
forget those.
That's right. You invite me to any party, I'm bringing double stuffed Oreo cookies. just bring your favorite foods, and just have a good time at the draft. It's a live draft. You get out of the house, get away from the wife and kids. Well, Eli's coming with me, but, get away from the wife and kids, and, you get to hang around with all your buddies for an hour or 2, 3, just have a good time. Bring those double stuffs. Bring 2 packages, one for you and one for everyone else.
Yeah, because 2 of my friends have a team with their dad, so I like hanging out with them in between our picks. So, yeah, it's really fun at a live draft. Last year was my first time. I loved it.
Yeah, we did a great team. And so those are draft day tips for you guys. I hope you can use them this year in your draft. I think they're pretty practical, pretty easy to do and memorize. That's going to do it for our show tonight. You can contact us. You can find us on YouTube, only on YouTube right now. You can find us at Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Tyler Belawski. That's TylerBelawske. And you can email the show at tylerandelifftips@gmail.com. Guys, we'd love to have some email questions from you. Simple things. I know I've been putting out on Twitter. You've had questions. Send us a question. We want to answer it. We want to help you guys in your league. So again, that's Tyler and Eli FFtips@gmail.com. Tyler Belawski on Twitter, and our show on YouTube is Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips.com or Tips Podcast. So that's it, Eli. That's season 2, episode 4. What do you think?
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's our mock draft. Next week we're going to be doing our top 10 tight ends and our bust, sleeper, and blowout or blow up for our tight ends. So be listening to that one. Wait for that one. It's going to come out next week, or this coming week, I guess. Maybe Friday or Saturday. We'll get it out there for you. So that's going to do it. We thank Pristine Auction once again for
sponsoring our nines.
And Scott Fishbowl League, 6 weeks. We start.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us. See ya.
Bye.